Hi, my name is Katie, and this is
Emma.
and I'm going to be going over the BIO-242 survey that we did, and this is how environmentally aware are you? Okay, so the purpose of the study was to help us and others see how much they truly know about environmental issues and ways to help. We asked the staff and students here at Davis and Davie Community College to fill out a survey and answer the question of how environmentally aware are you? Our main goal in doing this survey and asking these questions was to get the people that we share a campus with to get their gears turning on what they have and haven't been doing to help the environment and what they can do moving forward to help our planet.
So, a little introduction. We compiled a list of 22 environmental questions ranging from which of these species is invasive to North Carolina to do you think climate change will impact you directly? By understanding how individuals perceive and respond to environmental issues, we can gain valuable insight that helps promote more sustainable behaviors and initiatives.
So our main hypothesis was that the majority of students and staff at DDCC will not be highly educated in environmental studies. Our alternative hypothesis was that the majority of students and staff at DDCC will be highly educated on environmental studies. And then our null hypothesis was that there will be no significant environmental awareness among students and staff on the DDCC campus.
So the materials that we used were Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Forms, and a QR code maker. Our methods, so the way that we will be testing the hypothesis is by having a variety of 25 students and 25 staff on the Davidson Davie Community Campus, College campus take a survey. We will then compile all of the results to see how environmentally aware the average student and staff on campus is.
And this is an example of our QR code that we used to go around and show everyone so they could fill out the form. So the results of the survey. So it's going to go over the question, and then below it is going to have the results of like in a diagram. So for question one, it was how familiar with environmental issues are you? And majority of the people, so about 52%, said that they were somewhat familiar. Then there was question two. I am concerned about environmental issues, rated from least concern to most concerned on a scale of 1 to 5. And it was kind of split between 4 and 5. So supposedly a lot of people were concerned. How often do you adopt environmentally friendly practices? And 56% of people said often. And then, what emotions do you feel when you think about humanity's prospects on Earth? It was pretty much split between hopeful and fearful. And then, which of these three environmental issues are most concerning for you? And our top three were water pollution, deforestation and habitat loss, and climate change.
So, question 6 was in your own words, what motivates you to take or not take environmentally friendly actions? And as you can see, it was pretty split between love of nature, future generations, and wanting to do the right thing. Question 7, do you think climate change will impact you directly? And 76% said yes. Question 8, if you answered no or unsure on the previous question, explain why. And 75% said climate change takes time. Question 9, what prevents you from adopting more environmentally friendly habits? And 32% said higher costs because most environmentally friendly things are a bit pricier. And then question 10, what are your primary sources of information on environmental issues? And 28% said social media and 27% said news outlets.
Question 11. It asked, are you willing to pay for higher prices for eco-friendly products? Again, it was rated on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the like most willing and 5 being most willing. I think I said least willing, most willing, something like that. 44.9% said that they were kind of on the fence about it. They rated it as a 3, so it was kind of back and forth. We asked, do you know what an invasive species is? And 82% of people said yes. And then we also asked after that, if you answered yes to the previous question, explain what an invasive species is. and only 76% of people actually got it correct. So some of the people that said that they knew exactly what it was didn't get it like fully correct. Um, which of these species is invasive to North Carolina? And it was a list of four different animals. And it was 56% of people said the nutria rat, also known as a swamp beaver, and that would have been the correct answer. And then, have you participated in any environmental awareness or conservation programs in the past 12 months? And 70% of people said no.
So, question 16, please describe any specific actions you have taken to reduce your environmental impact. And 49% said recycling. Question 17, what suggestions do you have for improving public environmental awareness? And our top three answers were more transparency, more education, and higher social media presence. And then we skipped question 18 through 21. That'll be on the next slide. But our question 22 was, are you willing to learn more about environmental issues? And 86% said yes, and 14% said no, they are not willing to learn more.
And that was the very last question of the survey. So it was kind of like a follow-up question to everyone else. So this kind of is an overview of the respondents that answered all of the survey. So for the title, it was 50-50 student and staff. There was 25 staff, 25 students. The age range for these people ranged most commonly between 18 and 24 up to 45 and 54. And then for gender, it was majority female that answered the survey, so about 64%. And then for level of education, it was pretty evenly spread between everyone, with some college, so active college students earning their associate pretty much, and graduate degrees, which is probably a lot of the staff. That was the main split between everyone.
So, in conclusion, this survey aimed to assess the participants' familiarity with different environmental issues, what their concerns about where the planet may be headed, their emotions toward these issues, and towards the specific challenges that they view as most pressing. This survey helps to explore individuals' motives and reservations toward adopting environmentally friendly habits, as well as different sources of information and the willingness to support more sustainable products. This survey also helps to contextualize results. It provides a clear picture of how knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors towards environmental issues across groups and individuals differ.
Things that we could have changed in our survey. We could have begun asking people to fill out the survey sooner. That way we could have had either a larger group of people fill it out or just had kind of just more time to get everything gathered. We could have included a higher variety of subjects. We could have added a system to the survey to see if subjects leave the survey to search up an answer. That one specifically kind of goes for the naming the invasive species in North Carolina because someone could have easily just looked that answer up. We could have added a limit for how many choices respondents could have chose in order to simplify data collection because in a lot of the ones that like are list your most three popular choices or your most concerning, people were putting like 8 of their concerning things. So they had to get like narrowed down to make the data simpler for collection.
And then finally, we have our references. So the first 4 references are just surveys or questions that we thought would go well with our study. And then the bottom is our Google Doc form that has been filled out. So you can click that and see exactly the results there. I think that's it.
And that was our last slide. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching and yeah.